So we'll get things underway very shortly here in the Bangamata U19 Women's Gold Cup as Tajikistan take on Mongolia. And just saying earlier, as we see the officials for this evening's game, in charge, Manaz Zokai of Iran, assisted by Bahamed Saif Navahandi, also from Iran. Uvena Fernandez, who was involved in yesterday's game, as was Pansa Chaisanit from Thailand, also involved today as assistant and fourth official, respectively. Now, the Tajikistan side, as we mentioned, coached by Kanawat Latipov. We had a good chat with him and his assistant earlier on, and he said, we asked him to name a star player, and he said every one of them is special, as you'd expect a coach to say. But he was pretty happy with the squad that he's got, and he said that they are aiming for nothing less than the finals. Though they have said also, and that's something I'll be talking to Paul about in a short while, they've found the conditions quite difficult for them in terms of the humidity especially. They come from rather cooler weather, especially at this time. Now just sorting out which ends they're going to be playing at. Now, Mongolia's side as well, they have said, just like Tajikistan, they are going to be aiming for nothing less than the finals as well. But they are fairly low ranked, coached by Naoko Kawamoto, Japanese coach. And so you may expect, if they're to follow the traditions of Japanese football, smooth, fast-flowing football, lots of possession. That's how the Japanese tend to want to play. Let's see if they've been able to transmit that to their team. Unusual huddle. There's Manaz Zokai from Iran in charge, as mentioned. The Tajikistan bench as the man we talked about earlier, Kanawat Latipov. Naoko Kawamoto, the Japanese coach of Mongolia.
Well, if you want to gauge, Sijad, these two have played each other at the full national level for the AFC qualifiers back in November, and Tajikistan won 4-1, so it'll be intriguing to see if that happens today.
Yeah, Tajikistan get things going. They've gone for the long ball. Chase on there by Zeboniso Abduloeva. Nice passing there on the left-hand side from Solongo Chinbata. Wins a free kick.
It looked as though Tajikistan was setting the stall out early, going the long route, trying to apply pressure straight away. Be interesting to see how they defend here, though.
There were three Mongolian players attacking that, just one Tajikistan player covering it, but nice bright start from both sides. No one's sitting back here.
Nice little ball in the channel there. Just meant that players got dragged about. Dogazaya having to come across and deal with it. And does well again there. Just out checks Svarova.
Gets the ball across now. Out to Enkmagad. One thing, Paul, as I mentioned earlier, is the Tajikistan camp certainly did raise the conditions as a. It certainly was something they felt quite strongly about. That it was difficult for these girls, and you've been to Mongolia as well. It's dry heat as well, isn't it? There.
Yeah, it's very dry, and it does get cold. So
I just wonder how they're going to cope, because the UAE seems to struggle in these conditions. It's a ball put across, but it looked to be offside anyway on Sarangarav. Remember, they felt just a little exhausted, the UAE, yesterday. Quite early on, they already felt those conditions and the humidity. That's a foul by Sarangarav. Oh, that was a bit of a mistake here. The goalkeeper Mukzul has come off the line. She races back and they couldn't control the ball. Tajikistan doing well with the ball here, putting it back into the mix. And a bit of panic at the back there for Mongolia.
Yeah, there was a nice little cushion pass there though. Kubanova just trying to lay that off. Bright start from Tajikistan.
Offside is the shout on Kurbanova. Just cheekily backheeling that. She might be in for a busy evening, Mukzul, if that kind of defending continues. Pumped forward by Urin Tuya. Hablaheva, Nilufa Hablaheva goes forward. A little bit scrappy at the moment, both sides trading possession quite easily. Shamsova now. They're going to have to go back to the keeper. Looked to be a slightly high boot there from Laura Tom, got away with it. Very good challenge from Salongo.
Proper challenge, wasn't it? Making sure she won the ball.
What are we gleaning from these first 5 minutes, Paul, so far?
I think the tempo isn't like it was yesterday. I think Bangladesh set a higher tempo. These two sides, I think they're just trying to play their way into the game. They're trying to feel each other out, just make sure that they settled first. I think that's what we're seeing. We've seen Mongolia have a couple of opportunities to push and break into that final third. And likewise, Tajikistan. Just going to be who has the cutting edge. If we remember yesterday, we did mention that the one issue was that final ball or the final touch, the final pass that lets Bangladesh down. Will that happen today with these two sides?
Well, an opening here for Mongolia. And it's slightly panicky defending at the other end now. It's the final third so far that has just let them both down a little bit in these early stages. Put out a play there by Abdullah Heva. Keeper's got to get that under control.
It was good communication, to be fair. Shukranai just talking to her players, her outfield players, to leave it. So the channels are there for communication between the defence and the goalkeeper, which is always important. Donglazaya is absolutely no nonsense. That's the second or third time we've seen her now just deal with things very quickly.
First corner of the game then to Tajikistan. They've gone short. Good work coming in then. Shamsova. Mongolia managed to get it away.
It's got to be a foul. It was a great little feint there in the middle of the park. That was lovely from Faizalueva.
She's gone down and no foul given. Has to pick herself back up and run back towards that centre. You can see it. Towards the centre circle. A bit more physical, this Mongolia side.
That's what we said, didn't we, Shazad, when we were watching them warming up? They're a little bit bigger, they're a little bit leaner, they're a little bit more physical than what we saw in yesterday's game.
You're absolutely right, Paul, about the intensity, the pace of this game. It's a lot slower than yesterday.
It's different because they're tactically set up differently as well. You know that Bangladesh were pushing and playing with a squeeze. They forced the play high up the field of play, which kept the tempo there because the UAE couldn't get themselves out. And I really genuinely think that both sides here are just feeling their way into this game. They want 10-15 minutes of just settling down, and then we'll start to see them play their brand of football. As you mentioned, it's a big test for these girls because for a lot of them it's the first time they've been away to play in an international tournament, so you know it can be a bit nervy as well. Nerves do play a part.
The Mongolian bench on the opposite number. I think you'll feel that so far they've probably just about edged proceedings.
Yeah, I think you're spot on there, Shazad. Just with possession and just playing and breaking between the lines. But if you watch and you see Donglazaya, the number 18 for Mongolia, drops very, very deep, almost like a sweeper in that back four.
Trying to play a little bit clever there. Sobirova didn't quite get the touch she wanted.
Well, this is where, if you're the coach of Tajikistan, you turn around to Sobirova and you say, don't play with a 5, you go and push yourself on to the 18.
Yeah.
You know,
stick on her. Yeah.
Play on the last man. Go and play on the last player. That's what you've got to do.
I think Bangladesh did that quite well yesterday, didn't they? Just peeling off that last defender, especially when ball's over the top. Shopner was a real handful at times.
Proper threat, a real threat. Quick and powerful as well.
Well, and that's what we're talking about, Paul. That kind of ball over needs to be a better kick than that. And this was one of the problems we had yesterday with the UAE. Couldn't get the ball out of their own half at times, especially on goal kicks.
Quite clearly a foul. There you go. There's a little bit of urgency there as well. You know, you see Shamsova come over to pick up a teammate. We didn't see that yesterday with the UAE, so I'm hoping to see a lot more committed performance from UAE tomorrow.
Nice ball through. Needs a shot! Well, again, just overstretching. Could have taken it earlier.
Yeah, she could have done. In the end, no problems for Mungzol in goal. There's that ball threaded through, playing right on the shoulder, getting in behind it. I think it just skipped away.
Yeah.
I think that was the problem. Of course, we get to see the replays, Shazad, so we're very lucky.
Rajab over there with the opportunity. That's the first real chance, I think we'll call it, of this game.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree. It's come, what, 12 minutes in, but think you're right what you said just a couple of minutes ago, and it's starting to come a little bit more to fruition. Tajikistan just slightly on top here. They do look the better side, but Mongolia don't look out of it at all.
Yeah, a bit of pressure being applied there from Ekmagad, and that's what happens. The ball's taking a very awkward bounce, and they've got to put that out for a corner, and that can happen, can it, sometimes?
I think Tiger Woods would have been pleased with that one, the amount of backspin it had on it. It was unbelievable, wasn't it? It's a comfortable roll back, and rather than take a touch, Sukranay's tried to hit it first time, but got right underneath the ball, and it span back over ahead. You don't see that very often, but Mongolia will be very disappointed that they didn't slot that home.
Kozaeva saving the blush. That's actually a very good corner. That's a brilliant start for Mongolia. They've got the opening goal here. Undral heads into an empty net with that high corner taken, and a deep one right at the back post, and he's absolutely furious.
Well, the marking's terrible. All she's done is she's just rolled round the back and she's just let run. Shamsova was just caught ball watching. But I tell you what, this is how football can be funny at times, where the team that looks the most comfortable and is in control, bang, they get done. It's a set play to the far post. What did we say yesterday about shutting the back door? And that's exactly what the skipper Undral does. And doesn't she look pleased? What a good header it was as well.
Very delighted. And she does well. And I think you've also got to have a look at Abdullahieva, who was supposed to be keeping an eye at that back post. I think she got a bit of grief from her teammates, and probably the ire of her coach as well.
Oh, Shamsova's the one. She just let her run. She just span off her. It was a great move. It was a well-worked set play, to be fair, because all Undral's done is she's just used the body of Shamsova to roll round her and get behind her, and then just ghosted in at the far post unmarked, and the simplest of headers is Mongolia a lead.
And that does, of course, make things more interesting, because, as we said, Tajikistan were the better of the two sides, and now they're going to come out. We're going to have to really go at them.
That's a test now, isn't it? Can they bounce back? That's the big question.
So now there'll be a little bounce in their step here for Mongolia.
That's what I said about the tactics earlier. Neither side has come out and gone hell for leather. They've tried to play their way into the game. It's nice to have got another early goal, Shazad, which always helps, because, you know, with three teams in a group, you have to come out and you've got to try and win it, because you can't afford to lose your first game.
Yeah, so UAE on the other side will be now having to look at a must-win match coming up. UAE now, sorry, Mongolia there. It's a great ball across from Sarangarav. Very nicely done by Ekmagad. Now they're going to take a shot, and that's not a bad effort. It just dips a little too late from Undral. But look at it, Mongolia, what a goal has done for them.
Very, very well played. We actually saw them warming up with shooting practice from about 18 yards, and to be fair, the girls weren't hitting the target, were they, Shazad, until the very end. I think the coach obviously had a word, but she's not a million miles away here, look. I mean, that's only a couple of feet over the top of the crossbar, but it was a lovely ball threaded through into that wide area. Ekmagad just trying to pull it back there with that little bit of magic on the byline. Well played.
Well, Tajikistan have a player down, and things aren't looking so good for them at the moment. And Mongolia, they feel they've got the bit between their teeth, haven't they?
Well, the game's swung, hasn't it? And like you said, it's amazing what a goal can do. It just gives you so much confidence. And we saw that yesterday more than anything, didn't we?
Here's Undral, the goal scorer. She's been pulling the strings, hasn't she? Trying to get that through to Salongo. Forward now by Rajabova. But they're winning the balls now. They're winning those challenges, Mongolia. And it's the Tajikistan girls that are on the ground at the moment, feeling that physicality. There's a prime example of that.
I Thought that was a foul, if I'm being honest. She got past there, little nudge in the back.
They're not afraid to throw it around a bit, Mongolia.
No, we said they're physically big, aren't they? So they're going to be physically big and strong. But now they're starting to play their brand as well. It's a lovely crossfield pass again.
Well, Solongo can get to that. Needs a bit of support here, Solongo, and that's put out of play by Kojaeva.
I tell you, these Undrol's picking the passes out left, right and centre, isn't she? Fantastic play. Will they mark her more closely on this occasion from the corner?
Yeah, she was certainly one of those marked out as a key player for Mongolia. Now, remember, they scored off the last corner. They've gone for a different routine this time. Getting onto it, they're getting onto things. They need to get out of each other's way, and that could have gone absolutely anywhere. But Tajikistan are struggling on these set pieces.
They are, and I tell you what, Zara there, unbelievable the way she attacked that ball. She really went for it. It's the first time we've really seen one of these ladies go and get up and really be powerful with a header.
There's one of those deep corners again, and that is an important take, and great for her confidence as well, Shukranite.
Yeah, but 3 against 1, it's going to be a tough ask. And again, a brave header. Clash of heads as well.
Yeah, that didn't look good, I have to say, and I think the Tajik players come off worse. Amin Oyu was up against Sobirova. Oh dear.
Bang. Oh,
was that just near the nose as well?
Yeah, it was just on the eye. I think her eye is starting to swell up and on the nose. But I tell you what, doesn't it show how committed these girls are to playing? Because either one could have shirked out there and not gone for that. But that was a hefty challenge there from both girls. No malice, both focused, eyes on the ball. I mean, it's part and parcel of football. It does happen. It happens all around the world, whether it's the under-7 kids playing football all the way through to seniors and veterans and full national teams. The desire to go and win that ball has to be in you. And if it's in you like it was with those two ladies occasionally, you know, you do get these little accidents.
Well, hopefully they'll be okay, but I don't know, with that kind of injury, with that kind of impact, it might not be too good for Sobirova. She's still on the ground.
Well, it wasn't as bad for Amin because she was going onto the ball, because Sobirova was turning her head, so she got caught a little bit lower down on the face.
Let's just show you the only goal of the game so far, and that came from the Mongolian skipper. Take us through this, Paul, because it was too easy, wasn't it?
Yep, there's the little roll again. It's a wonderful set play. You'll see it there. Look at the number 8. Watch the number 8. Gets caught, turns around and just says, oh, all right, then I'll let you go. You've got to chase and track back in. You've got to deal with that ball.
Yeah.
I don't hold Abdullaeva, you know, guilty at that at all, because it's not the man or the person, the lady that she should have been marking.
Yeah.
So
it was too easy, wasn't it?
You've got to deal with that. You've got to get in there, get close, make sure it's not an easy free header. Very sloppy defending in the end.
Right, the good news is that Sobirova, oh well, actually we'll just see. She's up, and she doesn't look great at the moment, doesn't look very happy about it, but I don't see too much movement on the sidelines here.
I think they're going to check if she's okay first. It did look as though it was cheekbone area towards the eye. I thought I saw it just start to come up and swell. If that's the case, she may not be able to carry on. I can't believe for the life of me Tajikistan haven't got a sub warming up yet.
You'd think, Paul, they're down to 10. They need to at least get that done, don't they? At least someone ready.
Yeah, but a key player, that's the thing.
Straight to the keeper. Well, things are playing into Mongolia's hands at the moment.
Comfortable take again from the keeper.
Now, Paul, in these kind of situations when you're playing against 10, and even if it's temporarily, would you be on the Mongolian side saying, listen, this is the moment, take advantage of it, push forward as much as you can?
Yeah, try and have a little bit of a go. You might as well, just for the next minute or two, while either a sub's warming up or they're patching up Sabarova.
Well, it looks like they are going to make... Well, no, actually, they aren't. They're still deciding what to do. They're just having a look back as well. If you're Tajikistan, you're going to slow things down, aren't you?
Yeah, you would. You take your time, although the flag's gone up there, so what's that, stepping on the pitch, foul throw? That's silly to concede that.
That's one way of slowing things down.
Well, the medical team have been over there having a look as well, so I'm sure there's qualified doctors there just checking if she's okay. I think they are going to make a change now.
So possession, no surprises that Tajikistan just edging it. There's not much in it though really between the two, and that was probably from earlier in the piece. Though since that goal, Mongolia have looked a much different outfit, and they've been the ones applying the pressure. There's a rather speculative attempt from Laura Tom.
They're always going wide, wasn't it?
Of part Belgian extraction, Laura Tom. Five shots to 2 already in favour of Mongolia.
You wouldn't have said that, would you?
No.
With the possession stat, that's a little bit askew. That just tells you that Mongolia are a little bit more clinical in front, or in that final third, by being able to get shots away. Whereas Tajikistan are playing the football, they're getting to the final third and not delivering. That's the issue that they've got at the moment that needs addressing very, very quickly.
Good news, I think, is Sobirova is going to come back on. In the meantime, though, that's really good work. On that left-hand side.
I think this tells us all we need to know. Remember, we asked the Tajikistan camp about who the key players are, and they said every player that we have is key. They have given Sobirova a good 3 or 4 minutes there to make sure that she's all right, so that tells you how key she is to the team.
Because in normal circumstances, Mace, by now you wouldn't have had a player for that long. No way.
No.
Back with Tajikistan. Oh, lovely turn there, but maybe a bit too much on the ball. Has actually been okay. Great work in the middle there from Sarangarov, who's dropped back quite a bit. Supposed to be the lone striker. She's enjoying her role, sort of playing a little bit deeper. Midfield here is Rajabova.
Why is she trying to come inside? Just tuck it down the line. You've got bodies down there, just roll it down the line, you can deal with it.
Exaya is down now.
There's a push there. That's the initial first push. Then there's a lash out. But that should have been a free kick to Tajikistan. No nonsense there, was there, from Rajabova?
Away by Rajabova. Just trying to see whether they've got their full complement back. They have now. Sobirova is on, and that's a relief, I suppose, as far as Tajikistan are concerned. Whether she can last till half-time, or maybe they'll make a change there, we'll see.
No, that's why I said it. Bringing her back onto the field of play, giving her that much time to recover, tells you how important she is to the team. So she's definitely the key player, or one of the key players.
It's away by Selongo Ekanbata.
No nonsense again there from Dogazaya.
Shamsova. Now in a bit of space, looking to take the shot. Oh my word, it's gone in! Well, it was an innocuous effort there. The keeper, Shokranai, has got to do better than that, and that's just rolled in. And that's rather a fortuitous goal. She doesn't care, Enkmagad, because it's 2-0 Mongolia.
Well, again, just as Tajikistan look to be playing the ball and keeping possession and getting back into it, they get stung. It's a lovely little ball rolled forwards, and the angle's totally against that. I think the keeper slipped. I think that Shukranai has come a little bit too far there, and she slipped, and that's the problem. But it just goes to prove, if you put the ball on target, anything could happen. It's back across the keeper, it's into that far corner. It's a textbook finish, to be fair. Composure personified, but I can't believe that Mongolia are 2-0 up, but it's deserved. They've created the chances, they've created the opportunities, but they've taken 2 of them.
I just wonder whether she was playing the percentages at Shukranai, put her weight on her left foot, realised the shot was not going to be a near post, and then lost her footing, her grip a little bit.
Well, we say of goalkeepers that that's cheating if you go a little bit too far, that, you know, but you don't want to get done at the near post. But that was a slip, so that was the issue, that was the problem. So one set play, one slip. It's 2 mistakes that have cost Tajikistan.
This is real pressure now on Tajikistan, isn't it? A team that we had thought started the far bright of the two. Now they're 2 goals down. And you can't legislate for things like that, of course. But Mongolia will be delighted with this. Now, can they keep it going? Here they come now, Tajikistan through Abdullaeva. She's on her own, needs some support. There was absolutely no one around her. And that's nicely done by Urin.
That was very nicely done, wasn't it? Again, looking to play their way out of trouble. Not just lashing the ball forwards and let's chase it.
Well, they can't be too happy now. There seems to be a little bit of movement at the moment, and I think they are going to make a change. It does appear, I think, they feel they've got to do something. Now, I wonder if it's going to be Sobirova or another player has to come on shortly. A tactical move. Let's have a look. Some really good dribbling here. Making her way through Khuda Dudova. Well, she's gone down now. And they've struggled against the physicality here. But a great bit of skill there from Khuda Dudova. Got past a couple of players.
Here's the goal again, though. Lovely ball just tucked forwards into the path of Emagad. Dear oh dear, comedy of errors.
Meanwhile, at the other end, it's cleared away. Powerful shot off the crossbar. And that's a little bit better from Tajikistan. This is what they can do. They want to keep this pressure going. A decent response, isn't it, Paul?
It is. I know I'm going to say something that's very cliche, but the next goal is going to be so vitally important here. That's a foul. Yeah. You've got the lines person out there who can see that there's a nudge in the back there, who doesn't raise the flag to help the referee. The referee's had to call that herself.
This is that great pile driver from Rajabova.
Because I'd like to see Tajikistan get one, because I think that the pressure would shift them back onto Mongolia. It really would, but I do feel if Mongolia score again, that Tajikistan could crumble. That's why I said this next goal is going to be so critical for the match.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think they're capable of getting that one goal before half-time if they can just keep themselves applied. Well, we were just wondering whether that change was going to be made. Not just yet, because it's looking fairly decent for Tajikistan. They can get on the end of this. It's bobbling around, and Mongolia need to get it away.
You said it, bobbling around. It just wouldn't sit down there, would it? She was desperate to take the strike on, but it just wouldn't sit down.
Down the line, and that was too easily telegraphed. Took too long. Well, they're trying to pen them in here, aren't they, Tajikistan? Mongolia need to get it away, which they do. And Sarangarov trying to put pressure here on the back pass, and that's good. That's good play. That's better from Mongolia. That's away by Khojaeva.
Not wanting to take the risk or the chance of going back to the keeper there. Just clears the lines. Ever willing though, isn't she? Sarangarov going and closing and chasing and making sure that she forces the issue. And it's meant that Mongolia can move further up the field of play. It's another foul throw. Seems to be a trend, doesn't it, Shazad? That the foul throws are coming back, but they're being given.
Well, that's good to see, because quite often, as we say, and that's got to be nipped out at this age. Stop it early. They learn not to do that anymore.
Correct.
Well, that was a speculative ball for Salonga to chase. She couldn't get there. Now, the goal kicks were an issue yesterday. They've gone short, and that's what we didn't see a single one of those yesterday, did we?
Not from the UAE.
This one hasn't quite worked out either.
Well, if you're going to play short, you've got to make better angles, which means you've got to get your heels on the touchline.
In by Salongo. That's fallen nicely for Sarangarov. She was looking for some support from Enkmagad.
A little bit of afters there.
Yeah, it looked to be a foul on Laura. Oh, committing to the ball now. It could be a problem here. Tajikistan. Niso wanted some support. In the end, she was just being hustled out of the ball. And that was a good play from Aminoyu.
Just wouldn't sit down again, would it? That was the problem.
Sarangarov has covered a lot of ground this evening. 10 minutes left in this first half. Mongolia leading Tajikistan 2-0. But you just get the impression there is more to come in this game.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that at all, Shez. And to be fair, I mean, you just said 35 minutes gone. It's flown by again. It really, really has. It's been intriguing.
Okay. A different sort of way from yesterday, but still quite an interesting game so far.
Yeah, very, very, because Tajikistan have done the pushing, have done the forcing, and Mongolia 2-0 up. And that is football. It happens.
Listen, they've taken their chances. Tajikistan played some of the better stuff overall.
I see more goals in this game, though. Yeah, I do see more goals, but that's why I said the next goal is absolutely critical. But that's very interesting, how the statistic has now swung around. And like you say, not just one goal, but 2 goals. The confidence that's going through this Mongolian side.
But out of play there by Urantuya. Tajikistan will feel there could be a threat going forward. It's a defence at the moment which looks a little bit suspect. Again, they've gone for that quick transition up to Sarangarov.
See, that's a foul, jumping into an opponent, but it's blown late. You can't jump into an opponent. If you're going to jump, you've got to go with the intent of winning the ball. And as it is, Villanueva comes off worse. You see the shoulder turn. You can see it from here, Shez, where we're sitting.
That was fairly clear, wasn't it? I think there have been a couple of times where you felt the officials could have helped a bit more.
Yeah, I think so. I think yesterday was very good.
Yeah.
I think today there's been a few more little incidents here and there that maybe needed another look at. But that just tells you how physical the Mongolian side is.
Is that also because for yesterday, UAE just couldn't get on the ball? It was all possession from Bangladesh, whereas here, it's been traded quite easily, isn't it? And there's a lot of coming together, there's more 50-50s.
Yeah, but that's how Mongolia have to play, because they're physically bigger, so they may not have the pace of Bangladesh, but they've got the physicality, so that could be an interesting matchup come the latter stages of this competition. But again, it'd be interesting to see Bangladesh play against Tajikistan as well, because of the way that they play.
That was the shot earlier. That's their best chance so far from Rajabova for Tajikistan. Dalgazaya gets that away. Enkmagad. Good work from Shamsova.
Commentator's curse there, Shazad.
Well, apologies.
No, I mean, that happens. She does all the hard work, and then the simple 5-yard pass, it becomes difficult, and it shouldn't.
Kudadova has gone down.
Dropping like flies, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, they are struggling with this aspect, and they're not stopping play here. Mongolia trying to put pressure again on that defence, and maybe now they'll have a look at Kudadova.
Just by the way, what a ball that was!
It was.
The switch of play. If Salonga had had just a little bit more pace, it would have been unbelievable. I mean, just out of nothing, she just dropped the shoulder, looked up, and bang, just pinged a 45, 50-yard pass.
Interesting as well that not one of the Tajik players, you know how players always gesture, stop the ball, stop play. She was injured. Not one of them did that. I know at the end of the day, of course, the onus is on the referee, but not one of them did that. Or, you know, at least put pressure on Mongolia to stop play.
Yeah. Now the flag's gone up again. Another foul throw. These are basic, simple errors that just shouldn't be in the game. Not at this age, because this is what you learn when you're 8, 9 years old about how to take a proper throw in. You do occasionally get the odd one that goes askew, but we've had 3 in this first 45 minutes. We had 2 yesterday. There you go. I'm keeping count.
We'll have Mace give us a tournament total at the end of this.
Rock solid again, she is, you know.
Yeah.
Dalgazaya.
She's been quite good with that Amiloyu. Just Amiloyu gets it away.
It's just like Aki yesterday. You need a pivotal focal point in defence that can lead the team, and she's the leader of that back line.
Have you seen the equivalent with Fazilaeva or Kojaeva yet?
No, you haven't, because I think that's a bit of testament as well to Serengarav, the way that she's played, because she's kept them both busy. She's non-stop running and chasing.
You'd mentioned the eye, didn't you there, Paul? It was just below it. That looks nasty, that one.
It's swelling up as well, but it just shows the commitment of these girls to go out there and want to play. I mean, it happens where you do get cuts and bruises, and, you know, I mean, we've run off the field of play, been stitched up and ran back out to play on with a big bandage on your head. And at this age as well, 19 years old, it shows so much commitment, it's untrue.
Again, done well there, Solongo. And Abdullaheva had gone down a little bit. They aren't enjoying this treatment at the moment.
Is that a deliberate handball there? Something interesting just coming up before half time. She said, we still haven't had a yellow card in this tournament.
No. Yeah, surprisingly in this game in particular, I thought it might be won by now with some of those challenges that have gone in. That's a speculative ball again, and look who it is. Del Ghazaya with that header. Oh, well, they want to get that away. Almost a big mistake, but Amin Oyu has done enough. Well, there's no love lost here between these two sides.
This could get very, very interesting in the second half. You can see the eyes starting to swell up. So I'm sure she'll come out and play in the second half as well, Soborova. The plaster must be on there. Maybe there was a little nick or a little cut, or a graze as it were, because you can go back out with blood. Oh, well played.
Xaya finds Enkmagad, who scored that second goal.
So I'll tell you the difference between today and yesterday. Width.
The two wide players for Bangladesh were outstanding, weren't they? The wing backs.
Correct. There, Mongolia had a brilliant opportunity to go out wide, tuck it down the line, come back, or go inside and then go again, and they elected to do nothing. They've lost the ball. So you've got to use the ball when you get into those wide areas. Another foul throw.
Yeah, that was Shamsu Nahar and Moshimi that we really enjoyed watching. And they terrorised that back line, didn't they? Time and time again, that UAE back line.
Yeah, what is the old adage? If it was a boxing contest, they'd have stopped it, what, about 5 minutes into the second half, I think.
Yeah, plenty of big blows yesterday, except they couldn't get the third goal. Laura Tom is down for the moment. There have been a lot of stoppages. Oh,
naughty.
Now, is that not a card for you?
That's now on yellow card.
Absolutely.
It's gone right over the top there. That's a naughty little challenge, by the way.
Well, referee, I don't think she's seen that, but there's been a few of those.
Look at her face. It tells you all you need to know. No, there's an anger there. With a bit of anger comes petulance and comes stupidity, and you make mistakes rather than concentrate and focus on what you got to do.
Now, this is an interesting one because Kurbanova is going off with literally a minute left on the clock. She's run off the pitch, so it's not, doesn't seem to be a fitness issue. One Kurbanova on for another Kurbanova, by the way. One with a K and one with a Q. But yeah, interesting time to be making a change there, Mace.
Just to make sure that you get a touch of the ball before half-time and get a feel for it. No, seriously, she says, I think what we'll see is we'll see her out here at half-time, maybe doing a little bit more of an extended warm-up as well. But sometimes coaches do that just so that you can get a touch of the ball, just so that you can get a feel.
3 minutes of added time, no surprises there with the amount of stoppages we had, particularly to the for the injury to Sobirova.
I just wonder if that's not tactical as well. I just wonder if they're going to change to a 3 at the back and push something on a little bit further. It certainly looks that way. Quite a few bodies in there now defensively. Yeah, it does look as though that change has been made because of that.
There's the new Kurbanova on. We're into that added time. Abdullaeva has to get that back to the keeper. And again, pressure on here. Sarangarov's done well. Oh, she's been unselfish here. Needs a good finish. Well, there was time for Enkmagad, and she's flashed at that one.
What a chance that is. That would have killed the game right on the stroke of half-time. It really would. Wonderful work from Sarangarov again to just tee it up nicely. And I think she didn't realise that she had more time there, but she's definitely snatched at that. But what a time to score that would have been for Mongolia.
She could have trapped that, had time. She went first time on that, didn't she? And a great opportunity for Mongolia. Now up the other end, Tajikistan. They need more bodies. Kurbanova didn't get the right kind of crossing.
No real leg power then, was that? That was the thing. I think she's the youngest member of the Tajikistan squad.
Well, she's been a virtual passenger, Mungzul, the Mongolian goalkeeper. We're into the final minute here of the first half. There's one last chance. Kurbanova. Well, whatever support there is at the moment, they want Tajiks to pull one back. He had a bit of a roar when she came forward, Kurbanova.
You can see there's a little bit more urgency since she's come on as well, particularly down this right-hand side. Handball. No.
Now Sarangarov, the only one up front at the moment. Laura Tom shirks out of that, but here is the Undral, the captain. And they put pressure again on that back line. Oh, and that could have been an opportunity, but the whistle is gone. And the two goal scorers, the one goal scorer there, Enkmagad, getting the second goal for Mongolia, and that was after Undral, the skipper, headed in. And Paul, for you so far, is this a fair reflection of the games?
I think as the game's gone on, Mongolia deserved this. I don't think two's fair to Tajikistan, but Mongolia definitely deserve to just have their noses in front at the moment.
Thank you, Paul Macefield. So half-time here at the Bangamata National Stadium in the Bangamata U19 Women's Gold Cup. Second match of the tournament. Tajikistan 0, Mongolia 2.
কিছু কিছু মানুষ এগিয়ে যাবার প্রেরণা ও এগিয়ে দেবার শক্তির অফুরন্ত উৎস হয়ে থাকেন। ঠিক যেমনটি ছিলেন বঙ্গবন্ধু শেখ মুজিবুর রহমানের সহধর্মিণী বঙ্গমাতা শেখ ফজিলাতুন্নেসা মুজিব। কঠিন সময়ে দৃঢ়তা বজায় রাখার অদ্ভুত ক্ষমতা নিয়ে জন্মানো অসামান্য এই নারী একদিকে যেমন শক্ত হাতে সংসার সামলেছেন, তেমনি বঙ্গবন্ধুর পাশে থেকে আমাদের স্বাধীনতাকে ত্বরান্বিত করতে রেখেছেন পরোক্ষ ভূমিকা। তিনি পশ্চিমা শোষকদের বাধার মুখেও বঙ্গবন্ধুর অবর্তমানে দিয়েছেন রাজনৈতিক দিক নির্দেশনা। স্বাধীনতা পরবর্তী সময়ে বীরাঙ্গনাদের পুনর্বাসনের জন্য নিয়েছেন ব্যক্তিগত বহু পদক্ষেপ। আর তাই সকল প্রতিকূলতাকে ডিঙিয়ে এগিয়ে যাওয়ার মহান অনুপ্রেরণা বঙ্গমাতা শেখ ফজিলাতুন্নেসা মুজিব। তার আদর্শ নতুন প্রজন্মের মাঝে ছড়িয়ে দিতে শুরু হচ্ছে বঙ্গমাতা অনূর্ধ্ব-19 মহিলা আন্তর্জাতিক গোল্ড কাপ 2019, যেখানে এগিয়ে যাওয়ার নেই মানা।
Girls on the pitch.
Nicely done. You can see what Kurbanova was trying to do. Tajikistan looking to apply a little bit more pressure. This man demanding more from his players. Forward by Undral. Sarangarov gives chase. Should be relatively good. She's done well to even get there and created something out of nothing here. Looks like Solongo's taken a little blow there to her chest. Laura Tom. All getting stuck in here. Undral misses the tackle, surging forward. Kududodova. She's got past a couple of players. Rajabova didn't expect that. And that peters out. Just trying to get it away, and it is sometimes a little bit hit and hope, but they are gaining ground. You could see Undral was ready for that shot. Plenty of power in it. Blocked by Kududodova. A little bit scrappy at the moment. Neither side able to hold on to the ball. And that's away by Exaya. Sarangrav in a good position. Abdullaeva gets it away. Undral wins a challenge. Aminoyu breaks up the tackle, but it comes back to Tajikistan. Here is Aminoyu again. Wants to hold on to this ball. Oh, Kurbanova, remember, she's the substitute that came on, but not bad. As Paul said, just injected a bit of pace on that right-hand side. This is where they play that ball forward and then try to put pressure on the keeper, who's looked tentative and at the best of times. Mongolia still edging possession. She has been a bright spark. Oh, that's a good position here. Not offside. Flag has stayed down. Abdullaeva Niso, she didn't have too many options in front of her. Mongolia will make the change now, or shortly. Dojin Suran is coming on shortly. Doljinsuran is replacing Exaya at the back. Right back, to be precise. There's a player down at the moment, but it's not stopping. The referee is quite firm on that so far. Again, no problems for the keeper, Muksul. It does look as if it's been a straight swap dodge in for Xaya. Right back. Lawrence on. This is Undra. Oh, that's a delightful ball. And can it be finished by Soren Garav? It was such a good ball from Undral up to her forward there. It came at a pretty good pace, and it was tough for her to control. She did quite all right to loop that ball over. Nice little touch, but there was a lot of pace on it, wasn't there? And the keeper doing just enough. A little bit of a flat from the keeper, and that's cleared off the line. And another good chance for Mongolia. Once again, it's the set pieces that have been a problem, and that is, well, high and wide. But Mongolia close to a third goal. Dalgazaya with a good chance. Well, you do feel there will be more goals than this. We thought it might be Tajikistan looking the likely of the two to get the next goal, but Mongolia, well, they're showing they can also be a real threat still. Long way Jaffa, and they're the ones peppering the Tajikistan goal at the moment. Double the number of efforts there, you can see, Mongolia compared to Tajikistan. And barring that one shot from Rajabova, which hit the woodwork, they haven't really tested Muksul, have they? Still half an hour or so to go. Plenty of football to play. Good work from Shamsova. Space here for Kurbanova. Laura Tom wins the ball back. Nicely done by Salongo. You're taught when you're playing, when you're growing up, and when you learn the game,
just the simplest thing can be the hardest thing, but simplicity is genius, because you think you've done it already because you've beaten 3 players. Then just give a little 5-yard pass. Instead you try and beat a 4th, lose it, and sometimes you can see goals that way, which is why and what infuriates coaches.
Yeah, right. The simplicity of things at the moment is escaping both these sides at times, and we are going to see another change here, the final change for the Tajiks. Abdulueva Niso is off. Leila Kuchkinova comes on, and that ostensibly could be an attacking change. You'd think so, because that's where Abdulueva was playing, but officially Lilo's a defensive player. Let's see how they've shifted things around, perhaps.
Rejig to the shape and formation again, possibly, because it does look as though Kuchkinova has slotted into the back line.
Well, they need goals, don't they, Paul? And all that momentum they had in the first few the early stages of the second half seems to have gone.
Yeah, it's eluded them at the moment, but maybe that's why the change has been made, because Mongolia was starting to get back on top and they want to shore things up at the back and still try and hit on the break.
Yes, Kuchkinova, that's a great start for her. Good tackle. Offside is the shout on Sarangarav.
10 inches as good as a mile. She's worked tirelessly, hasn't she? She's done very, very well tonight, as this young lady, Sarangarav.
Yeah, linked up play brilliantly. Put a lot of hard yards today. That's the right ball to play. Kurbanov. And not for the first time we've seen her do the harder stuff pretty well, but then the pass, the final ball from her, was lacking. Laura Tom. Solongo looks up towards Sarangarov.
Great ball, forcing Tajikistan to defend.
Laura again. Goes out for a goal kick. Well, she's given it as a corner. And actually, okay. Abduleva had shepherded that ball out. Perhaps she just wasn't paying attention. She's put a team under unnecessary pressure here, because we know how poor they've done against corners. They've been 6 corners to 1 in favour of the Mongolians. Waiting for the flick, it's cleared off the line again. Oh, they pointed to the spot, a handball off that shot. And it's delight again from Enkmagad. And this is a great opportunity for Mongolia to put this game to bed. A little chat about who's going to take it.
Was it really a handball? I mean, the ball's been whipped in, there's the volley. I think it's hit it under the arm, if I'm being honest. Be nice to see another angle or two of that. I can't really tell from there. But for me, the arm is raised, but it's hit just below there, more the rib area. That's an interesting one.
Well, quite topical given handballs and football over the last week or so. We haven't got the benefit of VAR just yet, but we've got some replays, and I don't know. I thought an initial impact it might have been okay if it did hit the hand. Are we saying that's a penalty?
If it's hit the hand, yeah. Again, you've got to look
say
at
that's stopping it from going towards the goal.
Yeah, it is. It's going towards the goal. If it's going towards the goal, then it is. So
this looks like a good one for you, Paul.
Well, we'll see from here. It's a great little volley. It's under the arm though. She's turned her back, and then the hand comes on top of the ball. Is there intent there? That's the big question for me. But listen, if it's stopping the ball going in and it's a goal scoring opportunity, then yep, it's a penalty.
Now there's some discussion here with the referee.
Well, they're not happy, are they? And you can't blame them.
Well, I'm not sure what they're all reacting right now to. I'm not sure what they're reacting to. And look at some of the officials. They're saying get back. I'm amazed to see this reaction.
Oh, here we go. The first card of the tournament.
It's for dissent. I'm just wondering why they only reacted now. Maybe they didn't think it was a penalty.
Well, there you go. The first yellow card, first penalty. A chance to, for me, kill the game. They get 3. I can't see Tajikistan getting back in.
Oh, wait for the whistle. Oh dear. Oh, that's just going to add to the tension. And Dagazaya, well, that's not going to help her, is it? That was a really nicely taken penalty. And now, does she go the same way again? This time she takes it! It's gone in! Oh, the save was made! The initial save was made by Shukranai, but it's gone in anyway. And it's been that kind of night for Mongolia.
Well, I mean, to be fair, she's played extremely well today. It's always difficult having to retake a penalty.
Oh, it's come off a foot.
Is that an own goal?
That's an own goal, isn't it? It is.
I think it will be credited to Dagazaya. Well, I'm giving it to her anyway.
Yeah,
there you go.
let's give that to her. All right. Well, the most important thing, and no doubt whatsoever, is Mongolia have stormed to a 3-0 lead here, Paul.
But what they've done is what Bangladesh couldn't do yesterday, which is convert opportunities and chances. Now that could be worrying, and we know that that's where Bangladesh need to look at themselves and work, you know, particularly over the next 4 days on the finishing in that final third, because creating opportunities isn't going to be a problem, but you still have to put the ball in the back of the net.
No doubt about the foul there. Khududova, that's some distance out, and she's surely not going to go for goal from here, is she? Well, the way she's stepping up to it, it does look like it.
She's only going for goal, surely.
Khodudova's done it. Well, she's got good distance on it. It's a clean take, and look at that, a huge delight. Muxul,
little fist pump as well. She enjoyed that one.
Again, repeat, that's one of the few saves she's had to make today.
Confidence is high though, because absolutely, she's dealt with what she's had to deal with, and she's had a clattering with the striker. So she's had an all-round good game, to be fair. When she's been called upon, she's done a job.
And Paul, I think you made a very good point earlier, because I think technically you've said Tajikistan are the better side here, technically. Mongolia have taken their chances, something that perhaps Bangladesh, with so many opportunities in their game, did not. Remind you, there were 22 shots on goal yesterday.
On goal, there was 33
Correct.
shots. I mean, that's
on target. Yeah, exactly.
You know, I mean, that's phenomenal. And to have a 66% accuracy rate when you're having that amount of efforts on goal, yeah, that's phenomenal. And it'll be intriguing and interesting to see the stats at the end of this game as well.
Having said that, Paul, we've seen 4 teams now. I think, I mean, this is probably a very obvious question, but it's clear, isn't it, that Bangladesh are by far and away the most impressive team we've seen.
That we've seen so far, but I'm impressed by the Mongolians with their physical strength, their power, and also their ability to take their chances and opportunities.
Yeah.
I think there's a little work in progress there. They still need to be a little bit more polished, where they don't have to rush. They can take their time, get the foot on the ball, pass it around, because at times when they've done that, they've looked pretty good. But they have a solid focal point at the back in Delgazaya, who's strong, no problems. They've got Laura, who can create issues going forwards. They've got Undral, who can strike a ball and who can pick a pass out here and there. And they've got Surangarav, who, for me, has worked incredibly tireless today. She's been unbelievable, the amount of work that she's put in.
They're going to chase after this one, but it's easy enough for Shukranai. I think now Mongolia might look to make a change or two. They are 3-0 up. They've got games coming thick and fast. Remember, as we said, that first win is so important. They play Laos next on the 25th, and Tajikistan will play Laos in their match on the 27th. And Mongolia will be absolutely delighted. Of course, as you mentioned, Paul, the scoreline here, that's going to help the goal difference.
Yeah, will do. That's the big thing as well, which is why I think Bangladesh will be a little bit disappointed that they didn't get more. I don't know if that's cramp or if that's a bit of a hamstring, but that looks incredibly painful there. You don't want to be pushing the leg if that's a hamstring.
Yeah, Fazulueva is struggling here big time.
Well, they've used their subs as well, so that's not a good sign. Let's have a look. Does she overstretch? She has slightly overstretched there, hasn't she? Yeah, the left hamstring. That could be, well, that could be her out of the tournament. It really, really could.
Yeah,
let's just hope it is a cramp.
Seems to be in a lot of agony here, and
it's the worst thing you can do. Honestly, she's had it. It's terrible when you pull a hamstring. You can't play on. You can try, but there's no point because you're overcompensating. And what happens then is you basically pull or tear your other hamstring. So you've just got to come off. You can't run. You can't do anything. It's absolutely so painful. It's untrue. She is walking gingerly.
I don't think she. Well, will she carry on? Remember, they can't do anything about this now. They're carrying her off. And remember, they played with 10 earlier on when Sarambova was receiving treatment for a good 3-4 minutes.
I've just seen there's only 15 minutes left of the game.
Again,
it's flown by.
Remember, they've rejigged things. Yeah, Mongolia are going to make a change here. Their third change, or second change rather. And Solongo Chinbata has had a very good game out on that left-hand side, replaced by Altjin Van Sanbat. Good time to bring on a fresh pair of legs, Paul, if indeed they're going to play against 10.
Yep, why not?
And she's slotting into that left-hand side.
That's obviously like for like there then.
Undral. Kurbanov has come onto the left-hand side now. Remember, they've tweaked things quite a bit, the Tajiks, and they've had to as well. Some of it enforced, some of it tactical. Still patching up. Player on the side. Fazliova. She was playing at the back, remember. Again, it's taking a couple of minutes here. Good pressure from the new player, Alcin. And there's a combative spirit about this Mongolian side. What they may lack in the technical side, Paul, I think you've been very impressed with the spirit and the way they've approached this.
Absolutely, and the physicality. I'm not saying that they're not technical, because when they've passed it around on occasion, they've looked quite good, but they don't do it enough. They can't compete as much with that technical aspect as Tajikistan, but like you said, they've taken their opportunities, their strength, their power, and the ability to put the ball in the back of the net is what separates these two sides. So you've got to turn around and you've got to say, hey, hats off Mongolia, well done. They've come with a game plan and it's worked for them.
What I love so far about this tournament, Paul, is at the full international women's level, UAE outrank Bangladesh, Tajikistan outrank Mongolia, and yet in both games it's the team from the lower ranked country that has won or is winning at the moment.
Well, it bodes well for Asian football, doesn't it? Asian women's football in the region, that these youngsters are going to come through, they're going to go on to represent the national teams, and the rankings will change. So that's only good news for the sport. And again, having the opportunity to play in this, you know, the Bangamata U19 Women's Gold Cup will just hold them in good stead throughout the years.
Dargazaya, who got the penalty, concedes a free kick. An opportunity here to pull one back. And by the way, there's still plenty of treatment going on for Fazlieva. Plenty of bodies there in the box. Monksall got enough on the ball. Laura Tom tries to clear. Well, the good news is it appears as if Fazlieva is okay. She's jogging back to the halfway line, and it looks like she will come back on. That's a good news, I suppose, for Tajikistan. Well, they can't escape from, of course. There she is, coming back on. I'm not sure how mobile she will be, but they need her on the pitch, of course, with about 10 minutes still to go.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're 3 goals down, so it could be damage limitation. Just, it can't be too bad. A little bit of a high foot there from Rajabov. There you go, look, whoops. Oh, just catches the nose. Again, that's right in front of the line-out, and it's just not been given.
I'm not sure why that wasn't a free kick.
You say the referee's assistant. Yeah.
Vena Fernandez on that side. It is a free kick here for Tajikistan, and if they score off this, there might be some questions from Mongolia. Attacking the box here, Tajikistan. In the way, and that is fired over by, guess who? Fazlieva, who's just come back on.
Don't want to be striking the ball like that if you've pulled your hamstring, because it will go pop.
Taken short by Mongolia. That's the way to do it, really. if you're not able to take good goal kicks. Oh, you can see what Sarangarov was trying to do. That was a wonderful opportunity. Algin was in a great bit of space there, or rather, Dolgin Surin.
Oh, that's rugby. She's hauled her to the ground. That's a free kick and a yellow card. He's grabbed hold of the shirt and hauled her down.
There's been a reluctance to show those cards.
That's definitely a free kick.
Well, it's now or never really for Tajikistan.
Well, it's never, isn't it? Because there's 8 minutes left. They're not going to score 3 goals in 8 minutes. They're not. They just haven't got that finishing touch when they're going into that final third. It hasn't worked for them, and the Mongolians are physically stronger and they're lasting better. Sorry to be straight to the point as that, but you know me, I don't beat around the bush.
That's all right. Well, they've got to just keep themselves focused, Paul, because now the next job, of course, as far as Mongolia are concerned, is to finish off with a clean sheet.
That's the big thing. If they can get a clean sheet from this, then they could be a threat, and they'll go far in this tournament.
Kurbanov. This is better from Tajikistan. Surging forward, Abdullaeva. Wow, another player has gone down. I think that's Kududova. I think he's not happy with that. He's having a go at the officials. Latipov on the side.
I think that's good defending. I really think that's good defending. I think just ran across and checked her out. And look, there's nothing wrong with it.
The coach has gone on the pitch. Well, that is bizarre. He is remonstrating with the referee.
And has he just pushed the referee as well? I think he's going to get sent off for this.
Well, you cannot be going onto the pitch to do that with a referee, no matter what you're feeling. And if he's not careful, he'll get sent off. Now, look at this, Paul.
Just stepped across. If anything, there's a little nudge in the back there. There's nothing, just play on. There's absolutely nothing in that.
And he's now throwing bottles around. He's not happy. He's not covering himself in glory here. He's going up to the officials on the side. I think he's even talking to the Mongolians at the moment. I think he's being escorted off. Yeah. I think he was squaring up to the referee as well.
Well, that's not good, is it? That's really not good.
I'm sorry. He hasn't even got a case. Well, you shouldn't be doing that anyway, going on the field, Paul. But when we look back at those replays, there wasn't even a shadow of doubt, was there?
No, I don't think there was. There you go. That's a kick out, and again, frustration starting to creep in now. So the referee really needs to get hold of this game. I think there's the odd chance that she had to do that earlier on in the match, where she's let a couple of challenges go and could possibly have shown a card here or there.
Well, that was my question to you. Had those cards come out a little bit earlier, that set the tone, and you wouldn't even have this kind of behaviour now?
You wouldn't be having this nonsense now, because that's what it is, nonsense. You cannot be sent off like that. You can't storm onto the pitch and go and confront the referee. You can do it with the fourth official, because that's what the fourth official's there for.
Well, we can tell you that the Tajikistan coach is being escorted away, and
looked quite angry, didn't he? I hope he's not coming up here.
Hopefully he's not heard what we've had to say, because that is not what you'd expect from a coach. Now, a chance for finishings off, and the new player in, Algin, fires over from just about 8 yards out.
Again, we've said this 2 or 3 times already today. Watch the ball. Does it sit down? It stays up. It just wouldn't sit down quickly enough for it. That's why when that first touch came, she bang had to hit it straight away.
Well, it could have been 4 or 5 really for Mongolia, and so far this tournament has been about missed opportunities. but mainly for the winning side in both instances, Paul.
Yep, that bodes well for those two teams. Bangladesh and now, of course, Mongolia.
Al-Jil now, can she take the shot? She does, and it's straight at the keeper.
Good work there, really good work. She had to work hard to create that opportunity for herself there in Magad.
Undral plays it safe.
There, look, she's working the ball, she skips the challenge, she gets her foot round the ball, and a good contact to at least hit the target, but just a little bit too close to shoot an iron goal.
I think Magad looking for her second of the night.
So we can say this game has had everything. It's had a yellow card, we've had a red card, we've had goals, we've had a penalty. Coach getting sent off, the red card, of course.
Yeah, a bit of drama.
Lots of injuries.
Two different styles of, two different types of wins we've had, haven't we? That's kept it interesting. Nicely done there by Aminoyu. Not shirking the challenges.
They're not, either side. They're really putting their foot in and letting each other know that they're in a game of football.
Laura Tom put the hard yards in today, replaced by Saranai Sukbat right at the end here.
Interesting to see who gets the player of the match.
Yeah, who would you say, Paul?
Personally, Sharon Garov, I think, has worked incredibly hard. Look, she's holding it up again and look, trying to slot it through. I think her work rate has been absolutely exemplary. I've just got a sneaky feeling it may go to Delgazaya, who's been rock solid at the back and has got her goal as well from the penalty spot.
Yeah, probably go with that actually. Undral's also played a part in this game. They have been solid at the back, and Delgazaya has been a big part of that.
Football across the line.
We're into the final minute of the 90.
Wow. It's less than that.
Almost into added time. Is there one final opportunity? Saran Garov, she deserves a goal, doesn't she? Decided not to shoot there. Had the chance. Al-Jin. Now Undral.
I think that tells you she's a right-footed player.
They're piling the pressure on at the end here, Mongolia. Four minutes of added time. There's a foul. I think you just heard that as well on the sidelines. Hooded it over. He's down after just clashing there with Delgazaya.
I don't understand what the foul's for. It's just a coming together. Both players going for the ball. I don't think there's any malice in anything there from both sides. She'll be happy, won't she? Be absolutely over the moon and ecstatic with the way that the side have played.
Yeah, that's the coach, Naoko Kawamoto. And there have been a lot of stoppages for fouls today. Given the number of fouls that we've had, maybe a little surprising that we haven't seen more cards.
Yeah, slightly more surprising. I'll tell you what's absolutely amazing when you consider that the Mongolia women's national team only played their first match on the 3rd of September 2018.
Almost double the number of fouls.
Said about the physicality. Yeah, that's what they're there for. And that's why they're in.
Sorry, Paul, I interrupted you. What was that about the Mongolians?
September the 3rd, 2018 is when they played their first match. So it's only relatively newly pushed into, that's at the full senior level. So obviously the younger girls have been playing a bit, but now they're wanting to branch out. So again, another developing country producing a women's team.
7 months ago, here is Khudududova. But again, she's just been crowded out, and Undral doing really well. Bit of urgency here. Oh, that's a little bit cheeky from Alcin. Comes across to Kurbanova. Alcin. Oh, very nicely done by Engmanzaya. Ridden out a few challenges.
Serengara absolutely on her knees there. She was trying to play that reverse pass, but she just didn't have the legs because her legs have gone. And that's not being disrespectful, it's the amount of work she's got through in the 90 minutes that she's absolutely dead on her feet out there. Not used to the conditions being like this. Good performance though from Mongolia. They're going to be a big threat in this tournament. Oh, there we go, another pull down. No free kick, no warning, no yellow card.
Right in front of the assistant.
But that's okay, give the goal kick, but that's a stern talking to. Look, watch, she's hoid her back. She's got hold of her shirt. You're supposed to change shirts after the final whistle.
I mean, that's actually a yellow card.
That's a yellow card. You cannot manhandle an opponent and drag them to the floor. Ball or no ball.
Well, regardless of that and a few other of the decisions, it is a big win here for Mongolia. They've made a statement, haven't they? A team, a national team, remember, that's only played international football for the last 8 months. Their under-19 girls have done a tremendous job here against a higher ranked opponent in Tajikistan. And it's well-deserved, Paul Macefield.
It is well-deserved, and there is a togetherness. You can see that at the final whistle. They'll go and shake hands. I actually watched the benches and I saw the substitutes just fly over to the edge of the technical area. There's a bit of nonsense going on here with the Tajikistan team and the referee, which is not nice to see. So the coach trying to intervene and come across as well.
Well, I've got to say, this is unsavoury scenes. Really not shedding them in a good light here. You've got to be a gracious loser as well as a winner. And Tajikistan, it starts from the coach, doesn't it?
It does. The coach there lost his discipline and he got sent off, but it's the assistant coach that's run across to calm everybody down and get the girls away from that issue and away from problems. But something's going to happen here again now, because they're all going to go and shake hands. They've got to walk past the referee, so we may as well stay there to make sure everything's okay.
Do you know what? These guys, they may have been physical, but they have showed great sportsmanship, and there is the summary of this game.